What's the crack? What's the bleeding story? How yous all doing? Hope yous are well, and I hope it's lovely and sunny where you are, because in Dublin City it's bleeding lashing rain for July, as typical, Irish weather. Global warming, Dale. Okay. Anyway, I said I'll do a show about Premier League transfers. Know what the enemy is doing, people. Know what the enemy is doing. And first up is the big news of Harry Kane and the Bayern Munich hierarchy, as the tabloids put it. They're in London. They're going to meet Daniel Levy, whatever you call him. So they mean business. They're over. They want their man. Where does that leave Spurs? That's the big question. You know what I mean? It'd be interesting, because Jesus Christ, to replace someone with 25 plus goals per season is a big ask, and you're going to have to pay for it. So whatever they get for Harry Kane, they'll pay the guts of it to get a replacement for him. It'll be a big loss for Spurs, and Levy knows that, I'd say, as well. So that's why he'll probably want 120 odd million for him, because the minimum you're going to pay for a top class striker is probably about 80 million, and that's probably just average, with these crazy prices that are being put around for players nowadays. Absolute joke, if you ask me. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Watch the space. Jordan Henderson of Liverpool, looking like he's going to Saudi Arabia. Over to Gerrard, understandable. We'll want a leader in this team, a version of him on the pitch. Completely understand it. Saudi Arabia taking all these players, and fair play to them. The money's there. Henderson is on 200 grand a week. He's been offered a 700 grand a week. I don't care who you are. You're not gonna reject that. Let's be honest about it. You go over there. Gerrard will be there as well. It'll be a bit. I'm sure it won't be the last English player or whatever going over to that club. And things will, once you have a few people around you, you should be all right. I'm sure Gerrard's family as well will be over there, and if Henderson moves his family over as well, 2-3 years on this serious money, fair enough. It'll be a loss for Liverpool as well. Their midfield, a big loss for them, with Liverpool. But we'll move on. I'm talking about Onana next, the goalie, Inter Milan goalie. United chasing him. United need him. He's a great keeper. Very good keeper. I always impressed with him. I think a few seasons ago Arsenal were actually linked with him as well, and I was hoping that we would have got him over Ramsdale at the time. That's who I wanted. We didn't get him. We got Ramsdale. I'm happy with Ramsdale. Kill the Jets, everyone. I'm very happy with him. So yeah, he's a good keeper. So I have been sort of looking at his career so far, since we were linked with him, see how he's getting on. But yeah, United definitely need him. I think United thought they were going to get him for about 30 million or something like that, but they're going to have to fork out about 45-50 million for him if they're to come to the table. And apparently he said his goodbyes to Inter and all, so I think this move will eventually get through. When, we don't know, but he said his goodbyes, so he's out the door anyway. He wants the United move, and I'm sure it's a matter of only now agreeing with the clubs, the United and Inter, to agree. I'm sure the personal fees, that'll be sorted, no problem at all. And on United as well, this Højlund or whatever the bleeding hell you call him, this striker that they thought they were going to get for about 30 or 40 million. No, Atlanta, I think he's at, are saying no. You can come up with a bit more money. You are probably one of the richest clubs on the planet, so we want about 70-80 million for him. If United want him, they'll have to pay for it. As I said earlier on, if you want a top class striker, you're going to have to be paying north of 80 million. So I think that bracket now, Atlanta, I think he's a few years left in his contract. They're just saying, look, if you want the player, pay the money. Otherwise, see you later. We'll keep him. We'll enjoy his goals. So this is the way it is, people. This is the transfer market. It's an absolute joke. It's sickening. But we'll move on. Before we move on, smash the bleeding granny out of that subscribe button even. Hit a like, and I'd really appreciate it. And everyone who has so far, big thumbs up to you. Yous are bleeding legends. here's another thing that's coming off, and Arsenal were linked to him as well and all this. He wasn't going anywhere near Arsenal, let's be honest about it. And it's Kyle Walker. I take him at a heartbeat. Still very fast for his age, you know, solid, good defender, right back. He can actually play bleeding anywhere, you know what I mean, if I'm being honest with you. He's that type of player. But Kyle Walker, yeah, apparently Bayern are looking at him as well, and he has verbally himself agreed to the Bayern switch. So if Harry Kane goes there, I can guarantee you Kyle Walker won't be far behind him, you know, and that'll be a good bit of business for Bayern, and it'll be a team to actually watch out in the Champions League next year. They'll probably spank Arsenal again. Hopefully not. Hopefully we don't get them at all, like, you know what I mean. And on Arsenal, they drew 1-1 with Nuremberg yesterday. It was a brutal game. Arsenal were useless from the highlights I've seen. You know, whatever, but I want to talk about Arteta, what he said about Balogun after the game, and he says for now he's not going to sell him. I wanted him to start the game. He started Eddie. Like, what are you starting Eddie for? You know what Eddie brings to the table. Or is, like, I would have started Balogun myself personally, but is this Eddie's sort of, right mate, one last opportunity, we'll give you a start, you know, you're not good enough, let's sell you, you know? Is that the case? You know, I don't know. I'd sell Eddie, I'd keep Balogun. I'm not the manager, I'm only a fucking agent, as I say all the time. Messi, I just want to say about Messi actually. Messi, he said he would have retired after the World Cup if they didn't win it. And I can understand that, you know. Yeah, everyone knows that, you know. Will he go on to the Copa America, try to get that again? I'd say he probably will now. He's in Inter Miami now. I think the press conference today or the other day or whatever, like, you know what I mean. But yeah, I just thought I'd actually just drop that in there. Declan Rice, this whole Declan Rice thing, it's driving me insane, and I'm only going to talk tiny bit about it. Apparently today, Friday, is the day that they're going to announce it. Arsenal lawyers were, I don't know what they were doing, but they were just waiting for the paperwork and all this sort of stuff. It was mainly down to Arsenal getting this done, you know. Understandably, it's a lot of money, so you don't want to be the person to get this wrong, to get the contract wrong, to get the terms and conditions wrong. So fair enough, but you know, let's move it on now. Everything's been agreed, medical done, personal terms agreed. West Ham are happy with the financial sort of end of it, what they're going to pay up front and so on and so forth, you know. And on West Ham, Dave Moyes actually says that they can't do any business until the Declan Rice deal is done. So that's fair enough. Understandably, they're waiting for this money to come through, and then they can start doing their own business. But Arsenal, I think they're looking for a striker. Do you want to just push Eddie that way? You know, that's what I'd be doing. But that's just me. Thanks a million, everyone. I'll be probably doing a live stream myself during the weekend, so keep an eye out. Hit the notification bell yourself. I'll be on TJ Warren's tonight, the American Idiot, plus the Irish fucking idiot. So yeah, do check that out, and big up to everyone. I done a show about the FAI yesterday with Niall from the upper tier. Give him a sub if you don't mind. And Warren's team talk. Warren done all the slides. Big up to Warren. Please do hit the like button and subscribe to them if you haven't already. Thanks a million, everyone. Take care and have a great Friday evening. If it's sunny, get the suntan lotion on. Get tan on yourself, because in bleeding Dublin, it's lashing rain. Take care. God bless you all.